everybody. It is time for it to happen. My name is Skip Clark, and ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another edition of Skip Happens. Miss Rea?
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Here we go.
How are you today?
Well, I'm just wonderful. Just glad to be here in the secret location in upstate New York.
Yes, we're back in studio this week.
We are.
Nonstop for it.
It's a secret
We're back
location.
together.
It is.
I love this.
Secret location. What's going on? Let's
Nothing
go.
much. All right. Well, today I wanted to talk about the the glories that we have in life and the sometimes heavy,
Okay.
the glories, the victories, and then the sometimes heavy costs that come with that. You know, the things that we might not consider that might bite us in the buns.
Oh, I
if
feel
you will.
another deep and heavy conversation coming
For
on,
sure,
and I
for
love
sure.
this. So we're talking about the glory, but there's also the bad side to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So,
get it.
have you seen the news lately?
You know, that's my downfall is I do watch a lot of news.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because I want to keep up with everything. I want to know what's going on. I want to be involved. But you watch the news and there's really not much in the way of good news, if any.
Absolutely.
So it does kind of, but I want to watch it. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Why? What are you asking?
Well, the reason I ask is because we have some big personalities who are going through some things right now that are dealing with some missing family members. Did you
Savannah
see
Guthrie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Savannah Guthrie. Her mom's missing. And I saw news today that Lil Jon's son is missing. Now, I do want to say that these are unrelated things, like both of them leaving. One of them's unconfirmed.
Yeah,
Savannah
I mean,
Guthrie's,
there's whole
and then,
two different scenarios.
Totally
here.
different scenarios.
Not even
but,
close.
But same circumstance.
They're gone. They're gone.
Yes, they're
and Little
missing.
John's son is what? He's got to be close to 30.
Yep, 27.
27. All right. Now, as opposed to Nancy Guthrie, who is Savannah's mom.
And I believe she's in her 80s.
Middle 80s. Middle
Wow.
80s. And she does have some health issues. Mm-hmm. But it's really a strange situation. But you know what? I don't want to downplay any of this because it's serious shit.
It's very scary.
It's very scary.
Very scary, very serious.
It is, absolutely. But I think somebody like a Savannah Guthrie who we see on TV, who has a voice. We have a voice.
Right.
You never know. You know what I mean? It's an attention getter to go and do something. For example, somebody took her mom.
Yeah.
Now it's really getting the
It creates more
attention.
yes, and creates more tension because this person has eyes on them, you know what I mean? And then you have this person that's really close to them that's more behind the scenes. I mean, we're not seeing Savannah Guthrie's mom in the spotlight. We see Savannah.
Right.
So
Right.
the fact that she's going through this
I can't even imagine.
Me either.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, they're playing it up really big. And because it
Mm-hmm.
goes back to what I said, I think a minute ago, it's because it's her mom. And God forbid that happens to anybody.
Absolutely.
But because of that, and somebody knows that it's going to get the attention getter, and now I understand there could be some ransom notes. Somebody thought I was reading on social media earlier today. Now take it for what it's worth, because I don't know how accurate
right, and
that
more
is.
news is coming out every day. This
is.
is very fresh news. So we find out. I know when I was looking at articles earlier, it was like 18 minutes ago, 3 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, and you're like, oh, this is regularly being updated. So the news is continuously coming out.
So when it comes to watching the news, you really don't watch much news.
I'm not one that's gonna. Yeah, I don't watch much news for sure. But I think that's a choice. It's there's a lot of negativity. I think you
There's a
mentioned
ton of it.
that
There's a ton
in the
of it,
news. So I try to steer away from that. I think it's important to be aware of what's going on and know what's happening.
And there's things we need to know.
For sure.
But you know what? There's a ton that we do not need to know. Because
But
I think it brings us down as humans.
Definitely. And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
it's a boundary. Like there's certain information I'm willing to take in, and others I'm like, I think
I can't even imagine. And, I'm thinking about this the more and more I hear as it's updated, as you said, that, if it was somebody outside of this is my belief, and you're hearing it here on Skip Happens. If it was somebody outside of the family, I think they would have had leads by now. They would have had, somebody knew what they were doing. Somebody knew that house. Somebody took the camera off the front door. Somebody, they can't get the footage. Somebody knows something. And that indicates to me that
there was intention behind this.
There was intention,
for sure.
and they need to look into the family a little bit. They need to go a little bit deeper. And I was reading something about a brother-in-law today, but it's not confirmed, of course. As I mentioned, boom, social media. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? Who knows? Who knows? But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
I know it's got you thinking,
it
right?
Does. It has me it has me shocked.
It does. And the thing
And
is,
it really puts things into perspective because, of course, with them being bigger personalities, like we mentioned, there's more tension, but this is relatable. Anybody could go missing, and that's a scary process to go through. So it's one of those situations where it just makes you think.
It does. It does.
Sure.
Are we safe?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are we safe?
You would definitely ask those questions when stuff like this happens.
Do
it kind of shifts your perspective. And
I mean, the studio here, we're in a great neighborhood, but are we safe? Do you think about that? When you go home, and you never know who's hiding behind a bush. You don't know what's going on. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy stuff. Yeah. Crazy stuff. And that was big news.
Yeah. So I just hope that both of these people can find their family members soon.
Yeah. You said Little John's son, you said he was 27. So he's a young adult. So he must have, I think there's other issues going on there.
Definitely. The article said that he left his residence. He seemed disoriented, didn't have a phone on him. So I think because of those circumstances is why it's a missing person. Exactly.
It's just, the whole thing is just kind of nuts, it is. And Grace is absolutely right. Ignorance is bliss. So yeah. Thanks for watching, Grace. Giving you a shout out, girl. Grace. Yeah, we love her. All right. So that's what's going on, but we're talking about the news a little bit. Yeah. And there's been other things going on.
There has some music news. We had a huge award show this past weekend. We had the Grammys. Loved it. There was some great artists that got some phenomenal, well-deserved awards.
I do want to talk to the designers of some of these outfits because
some of them are a little too scandalous. Some of them are.
And I don't know, who is it?
Chapel Roan.
Her outfit, I mean, she might as just as well gone topless. I'm just saying, all she had was, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, I mean, it was a sheer.
It was.
It was a sheer bodysuit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm like. Seriously, I'm like,
but I get what you're saying. Tiana Taylor had like a wraparound situation, and I was like, girl, like there are parts of your body that are just being like barely held in. Like,
and who did she come out on stage with? She was presenting, right? And the tall, but I thought she was gorgeous. And
oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my. I know exactly what you're talking
but
about.
But still, and I'm gonna ask, how do you hold those things in place? Well,
a lot of tape. A lot of trust.
I mean, really, it's like you're in front of television cameras and
confidence.
Well, you got to have confidence,
definitely.
Right? Got to have confidence.
Definitely.
I think that's what it's all about. It's confidence. And know that. Well,
I know a lot of artists also work out. They are on diets. They are taking the measures to make sure that their body is top tier. So if I'm working that hard. To have that perfect body, or if I got cosmetic surgeries to,
maybe they're trying to be somebody they really aren't. And I believe that just be yourself. Just be yourself. There's all sorts of people, all different shapes, sizes, colors, and they're all beautiful in their own way.
You don't see it as like customizing your character. You know what I mean?
No, I don't see it that way. No, you got to be yourself, man. Well, they're trying to make a change. They're trying to make a statement. Justin Bieber coming out on stage. What the hell was that about? Comes out in his boxer shorts, his socks, no shirt. Of course, he's tattooed every inch of his body. He's got a tat on it. But, I mean, he was trying to prove a point, I guess, or, something along those lines. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
See, now that's because I am who I am and you are who you are. But in the Grammys, I made a comment online that I thought it was one of the best shows I've seen in a lot of years. And immediately I get the pushback going, what do you mean? Did you see what Billie Eilish was doing? And did you, what about Bad Bunny? And along those lines, and, blah, blah, blah. I'm going, dude, come on. Seriously? And then they had the balls to go and say, well, you work in country and Western radio. First of all, nobody calls it country and Western anymore. It's the country format. It's the genre. Remember that. It's the genre. It's country.
Right.
Country is not what it used to be, and we all know that, but it is no longer country and Western. And they said, how can you say things like that? And I said, just because I work in country radio, this is what I do in our city here, doesn't mean I live in a bubble. I mean, if, I don't speak Italian, but I can listen to opera.
Right.
How about, Spanish, which, by the way, we'll talk about that here in a minute with Bad Bunny. But remember the song Despacito?
Yep.
So, and how big of a hit was that? It was huge. And you know what? It was all Spanish. Well, there might have been a couple of different versions. But, yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say with Despacito, that I believe had Justin Bieber in it.
Yeah, there was.
Yes.
Yes, I forgot about that, but you're right.
Which I think actually helped aid that in being as successful is having that person from, do you know what I mean? Like having somebody from this country sing.
Yeah, that was added into the song.
When you hear, like, Bad Bunny's not from the U.S.
Right.
So.
But he's from a U.S. territory.
He is. He's from Puerto Rico.
Right. So in a sense.
Right.
He is. Mm-hmm. And they're saying with Bad Bunny being at the Super Bowl, it's going to, this is going to be record breaking because they have never had an all Spanish halftime show.
And he just made history on the Grammys for winning an all Spanish album of the year.
It was the album.
It was the whole album was in Spanish. And have you listened to the album?
I have not listened to the album, no. But I have heard certain songs. Yeah. And it makes me feel good. Mm-hmm. There's something about the music that makes me want to get up and move.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're talking about the music, for example, with Bad Bunny. When I was back in the day, and I many, many, many years DJing clubs and weddings and things like that, anytime I put on any of the Latin music, the dance floor was packed. I had no idea what the words were because I don't speak Spanish. But the dance floor was packed. And it's just that beat. It's the feel good. It's what it's about.
Yeah.
And did you see how many, when it comes to Bad Bunny, how many likes he has? The social numbers are like, I've never,
He's in the billions, people. He has so many streams, and it's insane. He's touching people all over the world. Yeah. All over the world.
No doubt.
And that's where his recognition is coming from, is because he's not just touching our heartstrings. He's touching people all over the world. And one thing that we talked about was, or before the podcast was, you can't really it's hard if you don't speak Spanish to really understand what they're saying. True. But the cool thing is that Bad Bunny, for this album that he won, the album cover is of like a plastic lawn chair.
I saw that.
And I looked at it and I was thinking about it, and I saw on social media somebody say, how relatable is that plastic lawn chair being just besides woods, like to all of us? Like, we can all relate to being.
Go in my backyard.
Yeah.
Just saying. I got the chair out there.
I swear we had like a tan version of that. Like.
Yeah, exactly. I think I got green, white, and blue.
Absolutely.
But still, we can all relate.
We can all relate to that, to the imagery. And I think he chose to have two chairs, which, makes you kind of think, like, what is the two chairs there for? Is this a couple? So there's love. There's.
It's how you want to take it.
Absolutely.
As, you look at that. But
it's open for interpretation.
For anybody.
It
doesn't matter who you are, what language you speak, what color you are. It doesn't matter. It's open for that. Exactly right. That's such a smart move. So smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing about him is he's very firm in his beliefs and what and he's very intentional with his work. You know, he uses his platform to share his beliefs and his message, and he's just so intentional and so thoughtful with his work, which I think is
You know, just so many are just so negative about this, and I don't understand.
We live in a very negative world right now. A lot of hate. Yeah. Even at the Grammys, they threw some shade at Nicki Minaj, who's been throwing a lot of hate out on social media on that platform. But even on lower levels, like what you said, like in your comments, you had people that were hating on what you were saying, what you were believing.
But with my comments, once I said I don't live in a bubble, they kind of stopped, because I think it's just like, no, you can think what you want. I don't care. I do not live in a bubble. It doesn't, because of what I do, going back to that real quick, being a country, program director and on the air in the afternoons, doesn't mean that's all I listen to. I mean, it's just, there's times.
But you understand the work that goes into an artist. It doesn't matter what platform you are. It doesn't matter if you're singing country, if you're singing pop, if you're singing hip hop. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're putting in so many hours of work to create what you want to create.
That's true.
There's a lot that's going on. So you understand the game and the work that's being put into that.
And it's exactly what Jelly Roll did. He put in a lot of time, a lot of hours, and he had the time to do it because he was incarcerated. But he took home 3 Grammys. He was nominated for 6. He took home 3. I was so excited for him for a couple of reasons. Number one, he looked great.
He did look great.
This guy's lost over 300 pounds. I'm like, are you kidding me? And from what I understand and what I read, I don't know how true it is, because here again, it might have been off social media, but he's not doing any of the weight loss drugs. It was all workout and food and just being really hard on himself.
Do you want to know something really interesting?
Sure.
I read an article about him losing weight, and one thing that he said was that really changed the game for him is when he looked at his relationship with food as an addiction. And he's like, it really shifted my perspective. And he was like,
that's interesting.
I really had to look at why I was eating and what was making me want to eat. And once I could figure that out, I could work on that, And
exactly.
I was like, wow, that's awesome.
And
that's amazing.
The 3
that he
Grammys,
put that work in.
I don't know if you heard this or not, but real quickly, that's great stuff. The 3 Grammys. They asked him, what are you going to do with the 3 Grammys? And what I read today was, number 1, he was going to put 1 in his recording studio. All right. Number 2, he was going to take another one of the 3 and give it to the sheriff to put in the jail where he was incarcerated to say, here, look what I did. Look what I accomplished because of the way you helped me. And then the 3rd one, he's giving to his wife, Bunny XO. So how cool is that? I mean,
that's really...
He's sharing it all,
Yeah, and putting it in the jail. I'm looking up really quick. There is another country that's actually implementing singing competitions into their jails to see how that platform, like that art platform, helps with their inmates. And do you... Skip, there were so many women that got themselves together, they put a dress on, they got on that stage and they sang, because music is a form of therapy for some people. I totally relate to that. Listening to music
you and I both.
Just helps me like understand what I'm feeling a little bit better. So I think that Jelly Roll putting that in the jail, and then I want to figure out what country.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that whole thing, just everything about him and faith and God, all that, everybody's got their own beliefs, and he is a firm believer in that, and he made it known, and good for him, because everybody's entitled to give their opinion when it comes to that too, and their feelings and their beliefs. It's all entirely up to that particular person.
I found it.
Okay.
So Brazil is holding singing competitions in women's prisons in Rio de Janeiro. It's called Voice of Freedom. And it's a program that's used to help boost confidence, create a safe outlet for
prison.
people. Yes, this is for women that are incarcerated, that are inmates, and they're providing this for them. So I think
so cool.
that we're allowing people to do that. We're not doing competitions. But
No,
the fact
but,
that Jelly Roll's trying to
Yeah.
implement that art and that platform.
Well, he
into
was in a
jails as an
5x8
option.
cell with nothing but a small radio and a little notebook. And
And that's what started the magic.
it did. And it's a lot of magic.
Yes.
And you know what? I just hope
So
he keeps
cool.
it going.
So
And, you know, I'm so nervous that I'm not really nervous, but it makes me think that, you know, how often a lot of these people kind of go backwards. And hopefully Jelly Roll will maintain that forward motion and continue doing what he's doing. And he's doing a lot of good. He's doing a lot of good. And he's made it known. And he's the first to stand up and say, you know what? I effed up. I was selling drugs. I was a thief. I did this. I did that. You know,
he's quick to take accountability and
And now he's, you know, he believes in his faith and all is good. So, yeah. Just great stuff. Great stuff with the Grammys.
It's amazing.
Yeah. You know,
So
no,
I'm
go
just,
ahead.
Kind of a takeaway from the Grammys. I'm excited to see the big game this weekend with Bad Bunny, to see how he does. And yeah,
Where are you going to be watching the game, by the way?
probably at home with the fam.
Okay. All right. Well, you're always
we
welcome
love
to come
to
and hang in
do,
the pod
like-
zone. But
Oh yeah, I might take you up on that. We
Okay.
love to do like an hors d'oeuvre situation.
okay.
You know, chicken wing dip, cheese and crackers.
We're talking about the foods for the Super Bowl get together.
Yes.
And almost everybody does that, whether you order a pizza. Try ordering a pizza on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah.
It's almost like
yeah.
it's almost like trying to order Chinese food on Christmas Eve. It's just impossible.
Same idea.
It's impossible.
Same idea. Yeah. But now you watch for the game, or you're just going for Bad Bunny?
Me, I'm
Yeah,
going.
I just want to know.
The funny thing about me is that I don't go out of my way to watch football, but when football's on the TV, I'm like, come on, guys, let's go. Let's do this. You know, I get too involved and I'm like, wait a second, I don't even know what's going on. Yeah. So I foresee me probably dipping in and out of the game. I'm going to want to know who won.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm definitely going to be standing there for the halftime show. I'm like that every year.
Do you turn it up? Halftime comes on every year. We've done
I
that.
always stand. I never sit on the couch. I always have to like stand and watch what is going on. Yeah.
I love that. And that's coming up. You know, if you're watching this, of course, this is being done just a few days before the big game. They call it the big game. You know why they call it the big game? Do you know the story behind that?
I don't know why. Everybody in radio calls it that. And
because we're not allowed to say Super Bowl.
Why?
Because, well, we can say Super Bowl. All right. And I know I have probably some colleagues that are watching this, or people that, you know, that work in the business as well. But we can say Super Bowl. We want to talk about, hey, what's going on Sunday? It's the Super Bowl. We can say it that way. But if we have a promotion, for example, our sister station did a promotion where they gave away television and all that. Mm-hmm. When you do that, you have to call it the big game because somebody owns the copyright to the word Super Bowl. You cannot use it.
Really?
Ding, 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 ding. Yes. There. Just thought I'd throw that. But
really?
yeah, no.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
So from a promotional standpoint.
Don't you think that really can put a damper on things though? Because why would they?
Because somebody was a jerk and said, you know what, I'm going to piss everybody off and I'm going to
make
copyright
things
the name.
difficult for everybody. And
I don't know when that happened. It was a long time ago. But, you know, we can, as you know, in the afternoon, I'll say, hey, you know, the Super Bowl's coming up Sunday afternoon, blah, blah. I can do it that way. But I cannot say, hey, we're giving away, it's the Super Bowl Sunday giveaway, and we're giving away a 75-inch television, and, you know, and you'll watch Super Bowl. You know, now I'm using it in a promotional sense.
Yeah.
And we can't do that. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
how
learn
about
something
that?
new every day.
And you know what? You talk about learning. It's a great transition here because you are you, I am me. And for those of you looking at the screen right now, you can tell that I'm the old man and she's the beautiful young lady. Mm-hmm. So there is a big age difference. And we had this conversation earlier today, and I said, you know what? I need to talk about this because number one, we have two different opinions on a lot of things, but we always meet in the middle, which is pretty cool. And for somebody like you, lower 20s, you should have a 5-year plan. Do you? Or are you already assuming that, this is going to be a disappointment?
Yeah, this is going to be rough, everyone. I don't. I'm not going to lie. I graduated college last year, and then
a year ahead of time too,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So good for you.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of that.
I go
actually.
Well, I was going, I'd probably still be going.
That's funny. But yeah, I wanted in and out. I got out, and then I was like, I don't know. I guess for a really long time when you're a kid, you look up to that moment where you get to go to college and you get to like learn, or you get to like prepare for your career. And because there was so much hype around me, like going into my career, that when I finally got to it, I was like, holy shit, like this is real life, like this is happening. And you got it. And then you also learn like you have complete free will. Like I can do whatever I want throughout my day. Yeah. So
no, exactly.
You kind of, I don't know.
But you're thinking ahead a little bit.
I know. I've
and
mentioned
you're trying
this before.
to plant yourself and go in a certain direction.
I love what I do. I love everything involved with what I do. So I've always just wanted to do what I loved. I never envisioned myself doing anything that I didn't love. You know what I mean? I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing work that makes me miserable. I just wanted to do something that I wholeheartedly loved. And I do love this. So as long as I get to keep doing it, I'm going to. And I'm also one of those people, I want to learn every piece of it, every piece of the industry, every way to like help yourself and in this industry and stuff like that. So I just want to continue to learn. I want to continue to grow. And as long as I'm continuing to do that, I think I'm going in the right path.
You know what worries me, though, because you have your goals, you have your passion, you have your dedication, and you go and you're hoping all this is going to happen. Maybe you're a little impatient because you want it to happen now. But I'm afraid that, and I think I mentioned this afternoon, that you try for so long and still if nothing is really panning out, that you could lose interest. But do not lose interest because nothing happens overnight. And it's hard to explain it to somebody like you. But when you get to be like me, you know what? People my age, they underthink everything. We wake up, something hurts, and we go, oh, guess this is my personality now. But, I'm just saying that's the difference. And it takes a lot of time. I mean, I can tell you that. Been there, done that, still doing it. So,
but I will say, I think like relationships like ours are beneficial in those circumstances because I have someone like you to like humble me and be like, Reagan, girl, you're getting way ahead of yourself. Like you need to reel it in, or you're someone you're always going to be like, Reagan, you're doing a great job. Like you're doing phenomenal. So I know I can rely on you for that. And I know like, you've mentioned before that like I'm so passionate about what I'm doing and I love this so much that it's contagious, you know what I mean? And it's hard for me to do all of this and not like inspire Skip or make him be like think a little bit. So I think surrounding yourself with surrounding yourself with the energy that that helps you.
And this is, I'm glad you're saying this because I know there's so many other young men and women your age that are thinking like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How can I do this? Whether you went to college or not, there's something out there for everybody. And what you're saying is, you can do it. You got to have the passion and dedication, and you've put everything you have into it. So
yeah, and a lot of people settle. I think it's because they get comfortable. I don't want to say it's easier, but I think that there's a lot of distractions in life. It's hard to work on your career if you have family stuff, if you have health stuff, if you have relationships. There's a whole lot of other stuff that happens outside of your work. So for some people, like their personal life is their priority. So that's where they're going to go. That's what they're going to focus on.
Let me ask you, from somebody being my age, asking you, what did you think adulthood would be like?
Well, one thing I'm going to say right off the bat is that when I was younger, I thought like all adults just knew better. You know what I mean? Like I just was like, every adult knows. And now that I'm grown, I like realize like some adults like become adults, but they don't ever like grow up. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, like they
You've been
never
around me too much.
Mature. They never like get to a certain point and they're like,
yeah, true.
So I think, I don't know. I really used to think like a lot. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Just, yeah.
One time I thought adulthood would mean confidence. And
I think, yeah.
I don't know. What it really means is being calm while having no idea of what's happening.
I also used to think it was like intelligence. Like you used to know, like you just know. You just.
And nobody probably warns you how many decisions you have to make every day and how wrong half of them could feel.
That's hilarious that you mentioned that, because I was literally talking
Here we
to
go.
one of my friends
It's gonna
the
be
other
good.
day.
Don't go
No,
anywhere.
This
This
is
is gonna be
good.
good.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and we were gonna go out, and I was like, I just don't know what to wear. Like, I hate having to pick out my outfit. This is like almost as hard as deciding what I want to eat for dinner. Like these decisions are just so difficult. Of course, I was just being sarcastic and being silly, but reflecting on it, I was like, no, seriously, like we have to make so many bigger decisions. We have to decide. I mean, you have to make a decision the second you get up in the morning. Do you get up or do you lay in bed? You know,
Well, I just hope I get up.
I know.
Maybe you know you're going to get up.
Yeah.
I hope I get up.
You're going to get up.
I know.
He's going to get up.
I'm kidding. But yeah, and you know when you get to be a little bit older like me, you see how fast time speeds up once your calendar fills up too. It's crazy, and every day. For me now, the days are going by so fast. The weeks are going by so fast. It's just...
It's kind of like what John Williard said. Life is like a roll of toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
The closer you get to
keep,
the end, the faster it
I'll
goes.
never forget that.
I'll never forget that either.
Never forget
that was
that.
one of the best lines I've ever heard. So I'm going to bring that up.
Yeah. Life doesn't get easier. You just get better at carrying it. Remember that. It's pretty cool, huh? And that toilet paper roll.
Kind of thinking about what I just said, because you're older and like I said something that somebody else said that's older than me. Are you to the point in your life where you're just like, I have my own lines and I
get laughed at.
Okay.
Because some of the things I say is probably like, what? My dad used to say that, this or that. But now, I mean, I've caught on. I think I'm pretty hip. I think if that's a word to use.
You can use that word.
Is that
work.
cool?
That'll
wait
work.
a minute. Is that dope?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want
That's
to
pretty fire. Yeah.
I love it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but that's you guys. I say you guys, but you and your friends, your circle. Hey, that's dope. That's fire. Yeah, that's,
That's lit.
I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Or I could
Yeah.
go, or I can go, yeah, it's groovy.
Yeah,
No, I would never say that. I haven't said that since
That's
the 70s.
groovy.
No, I don't. Ask your mom. No, I don't know. Maybe because your parents are
They
pretty
were
young.
born in the 70s.
Yeah, okay. Well, then I don't know. Maybe they learned to talk saying the word groovy. I don't know. But
That
yeah.
was Dad's first word. Groovy.
Your dad's? Mm-hmm. It was? Mm-hmm. Are you being serious with me?
Groovy and hippie.
Is your dad a hippie?
No.
No?
No, I don't think he's.
No, probably not. Probably not. Yeah.
No, I'm the most hip in my family.
That's cool. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I used to burn incense, and they'd be like, "That's enough. That's enough. It smells. It's too strong."
I saw a thing online today. As a matter of fact, my wife was in it, and I might have showed it to you with the thing with the Syracuse Mets. She works at the Mets, and they did a video clip of what would you say to your younger self. But the problem is everybody but my wife were your age. So what would you, it's like,
What would I say to my younger self?
Yeah, but I mean, you are young. I guess, I don't know, growing up, let's say, what would you say to your younger self being, I don't even know how to say this because you are young. But when you say younger self, where does that, what are you talking, 17, 18?
No, I think of like little girl Ray. Like I think like me being like maybe in like 1st to 3rd grade.
Okay.
Like I guess like the age when like you really, I don't know.
Interesting.
Where you start to like, like I feel like there's a point in all of our lives where we don't self-reflect, we're kids, you kind of just live life ruthlessly and you don't really care and you just say what's on your mind. And then there's a point where you like kind of think about what you say and if that makes sense, there's like a moment of reflection. And I would go back to that moment and I would say, don't listen to that. But then there's another part of me that's like, I feel like everything, like I did, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, is there something because
what do you, when you think of your younger self, what do you think?
I don't know if I remember.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. My younger self, I don't know. I'd be like, dude, what were you thinking? Why? It just, you know what? I did so many stupid things, so many things that were wrong. And it got me into a lot of trouble. It got me, but maybe at the time I thought I was cool. I was doing it right.
But do you think it made you a better person?
You know what? I'm going to say yes. And I'll tell you why, because you learn from those mistakes. Yeah, they cost me. I'm sure. I've been in trouble before. I've never went to jail or anything like that. But I mean, personal life and relationships, and I did a lot of stupid things. So, and then, I go back and I think it's like, why? How come? What was I thinking? You know what? I needed to grow up. I needed to grow up is what I needed to do. I have no idea who's going, but there we go. Never mind. So, yeah, I just needed to grow up. That's, so, and that's.
But like, you had to go through those trials and tribulations in order to know what growing up meant.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that's
or
like.
Hence, you wouldn't have grown up.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell on this too much because I know we're going to run out of time here pretty quick. I don't want to go on too long, but like we were talking today, and I was, we got into a pretty good conversation about you being you, me being me. And I said, you know what? You got everything going for you right now. So make sure you get your priorities straight. And I said, whatever you do, wait till your middle 30s before you get serious.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah. Because I can tell you my experience, been there, done that, thinking I was grown up, I wasn't grown up. And if you don't have a chance to experience life, the ups and downs and the breakups and the on the heartbreak and love and maybe losing a couple of jobs or whatever in the radio business, which happens quite often. But sorry. No, it's not like it used to be. Yeah. It's not like it used to be. I think most of that is over. But still, you need to experience a lot of that to realize what life is all about. And then, you know what? Everything will fall into place. Everything will fall. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a therapist. But I'm just telling you that it will fall into place. And I'm so proud of you because, and anybody watching this, if you follow us on the podcast, you'll watch this young lady grow in a lot of different ways. No, seriously.
Yeah.
For doing something,
right.
You're doing this and you jumped right into it and you started out, you did all right. But week after week after week, you kind of grow. And the same thing with me. It never stops. It never stops. You get what I'm saying? Do you still love me?
Yes. Yes.
I know, but I'm just saying.
He's always got to make things so philosophical. And so.
You know what? I never talked like this. If you were
I wonder if it's because you're old that you feel like wise and you're like, I'm on. Which there's.
Did you just call me old?
No. Overlooking that.
Okay. All right.
But do you know what I mean? Like you said, you've experienced life. You've gone through trials and tribulations. Like, do you think there's it's beneficial? I don't know. Like you sharing and being there and supporting another person in that way, or saying you are doing good and you should,
I feel I'm doing really good now. At this point in my career, everything is good. As you can see, you come in here. This is all mine. I brought you in. I feel I'm doing really, really good. Things that worry me is what's going to happen down the road. Things that worry me, will my son be taken care of? Things, my retirement, if that ever happens.
Right.
But see, I love what I do. So, you know what I mean? Those are things that's on my mind, as opposed to what would be on your mind right now, being who you are. That's another difference. You know, these
Right,
are things
my
I'm worried about. Your priority
priorities,
is, you know, get started. And then, you know, you
Getting
maybe
started.
family down the road, maybe a house, maybe this and that. I'm over that. We're over that hump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I'm like,
because I'm old.
yeah.
Don't agree. I'm just kidding. No, it's a great conversation. And, you know, we started this off tonight. We talked, well, of course, with the Grammys. And then we came down, talked about, you know, well, Savannah Guthrie. We did that tonight. And just a great conversation. This is what we do. We do this at least once a week. We get together. Skip happens. And because in life, we all know that skip happens. And you're beginning to experience it. I've been through it. Good, bad, and different. We have a lot of the same interests, but we have a lot of different interests. So, which makes it really good. It's what it's about, right?
It does. Yeah.
It does. Yeah, exactly. So here's what you got to do. You need to go online. When you're going to be watching this, you need to subscribe to Skip Happens.
Yes.
And of course, you can follow us online as well. Just Facebook, Skip Happens on YouTube. Miss Rea's on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. You know what? We'd love to, if you got something you'd like to hear us talk about, or you want to get involved in a conversation, go to skiphappenspodcast.com and you can just fill out the little form there and we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You good?
Yes, I'm good.
All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. It's been another edition of Skip Happens. I'm Skip Clark, and that is...
I'm Miss Rea.
Have yourself a great night. Peace out, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
The cameras move. I'm over